All right, the show is in the books. What am I talking about? Forbidden Door went down last night, and once again, AEW gave us a banger of an event. Let's get into it, because you need to know what happened, and you're asking yourself, well, what just happened? I'm Jeremy Pierce. Let's get into it. We have 5 matches on the pre-show, aka 0 Hour, and randomly a match was added, Kyle Fletcher versus Serpentico, just to get Kyle Fletcher a W. Kyle Fletcher won. We had a fatal 4-way tag team match with the House of Black taking on Colorado Tomohiro Ishii, Private Party, and Roderick Strong and Gabe Kidd. This was a solid match, but it was good. It was good, but Malakai Black and Brody King won. I think they were the very obvious winners here. We had another tag team match with Kris, Statlander, and Momo Watanabe taking on Nakano and Willow, Nightingale. This was great. This was an absolute fun banger of a match to really set up and continue the Kris, Statlander, Willow, Nightingale feud, as they will be facing each other this week on Dynamite in the second round Owen Cup match. Then we had an actual Owen Cup match with Saraya taking on Mariah May. This was really, really good. I think Saraya is back, but in the end, Mariah May won. I don't think the result was ever in doubt. Saraya really dominated this match. She does have the experience edge over Mariah, but Mariah was able to pull that win out of thin air via the words of Excalibur. And in the quote-unquote main event of 0 Hour, the Lucha Brothers and Mystico defeated the team of Hiromu, Takahashi, Titán, and Yota, Tsuji, aka Los Ingobernables de Japan, and the fans loved this. This was just good to just see the Lucha Brothers and Mystico team up. But on to the main show. We opened up with MJF taking on Hachicero in a solid match that felt like an opener match to get the crowd going. The crowd really didn't react a lot to MJF, but they still reacted enough. It was good. It only went about 10 minutes, and Hachicero was a good opponent to kind of get the wheels going for MJF. I think this was MJF's first match back since coming from his injury, but MJF did get the W. He won with the Panama Sunrise and a brainbuster suplex for the win. That was pretty funny. Then we had the Young Bucks and Kazuchika Okada, the Elite, taking on the team of the Acclaimed and Hiroshi Tanahashi. This was very, very much entertaining, and it boiled down to the separate feuds. The Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed, and rehashing Okada and Tanahashi, the legendary feud that helped catapult New Japan Pro Wrestling. I would have probably preferred this as the opening match over the MJF Hachicero match, but this was good. Fans broke out into a dumbass CM Punk chant, but in the end, the Elite won. They really put a good foot to Tanahashi and the Acclaimed. So we'll see what happens this coming week on Dynamite. But Billy Gunn ran out for the save to make sure Tanahashi could not get beat down anymore. This was good. This was fun. I do really much enjoy this feud going on between the Young Bucks and the Acclaimed. Then we had Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi in an Owen Hart match. This was a first round match, and ladies and gentlemen, it was really, really good. This was a great technical affair with a lot of hard hitting action. There was a lot of drama early on because Danielson loves doing his injury spots, and he looked like he got hurt hard on I think it was a suplex on the outside of the ring, but he was able to win, get the expected win. Everything was intense, everything was well executed, the crowd was into it. This was just good wrestling, and it doesn't get a lot better than this. Danielson pulled out that win, beating Shingo Takagi with the yes kicks, followed by more body stomps, and then a triangle in the ring, which got the tap out win. And Bryan Danielson moves on in the Owen Cup. Next up, we had Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa for the AEW Women's World Championship. Mina was just a boss. Mariah May was already in the ring. holding flowers, and Toni Storm came out dressed as the Statue of Liberty. If you didn't know what I was referring to, go and watch Collision and see that amazing promo that she did. But this was a solid match. If this took place, this was worthy of like a main event of a Collision or a TV special. But Toni and Mina have some really good chemistry together. And Mina held her own. Don't sleep on Miss Shirakawa. But ultimately, Toni Storm is able to hit that Storm Zero out of nowhere and get the clean win. I mean, Mina hit her moves, and Toni was able to power through. Afterwards, Toni held Mina Shirakawa up. Mina shoved her and then offered her a handshake. They shook hands and May encouraged the hug. And then we got the triple kiss. This was just fun. Nigel Guinness was crying at ringside. This was really good. Mina never felt like a threat to Toni Storm's title, but there is someone that is a threat. Next up, we had Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. in a straight up grudge match. As Zack Sabre Jr. knows he's better than Orange Cassidy. He is that confident in his abilities, and this was so good. The counters, the technique. For anyone that thinks Orange Cassidy is not a good wrestler, you are just wrong. You're just wrong. This was good. Everything Cassidy tried to do, Zack Sabre had an answer for it, and there was a really good near pinfall sequence where they were just countering each other with leverage pins and reversals. It was a thing of beauty, but Sabre was able to counter that last pin into a submission, which looked disgusting for Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy had to tap out, but this was really good. Zack Sabre Jr. comes off as the better man, getting a win back against Orange Cassidy. Then we had a not a triple threat match, a 6-man tag match with Hook, Samoa Joe, and Shibata taking on Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Jeff Cobb. And this was fine. It didn't need to go 14 minutes, but it was a solid match, which told separate stories for each characters, and then it ended with Jericho putting over Hook. Jericho got hit with a Judas effect. They showed Taz celebrating at ringside. This was just absolutely a fun match. I don't think it needed to be on the card. Could have been maybe the main event of a Collision or a Rampage or again a TV special, but it was still a very excellent match. But Hook getting the win here from his two mentors of Shibata and Joe was very good. I can't wait to see these three guys go for the trios titles. And Jeff Cobb does what Jeff Cobb does. Him versus Joe. Got some hits in, got some licks in. I want to see this one-on-one match between Jeff Cobb and Samoa Joe. Just make it happen on Dynamite this Wednesday before Jeff Cobb heads back to Japan. That's all I'm saying. Then we had the ladder match for the vacant TNT Championship. And again, the winners were never in doubt. It was either going to be Takeshita or Jack Perry. Jack Perry won. This was a straight-up car crash. The people got what they wanted. Everybody hit their spots. Takeshita is a beast. He hit a blue thunder bomb through 2 tables. People were getting powerbombed on ladders. Leo Rush, Dante Martin, El Phantasmo. Everybody did their part. Honestly, Jack Perry didn't do much. He kind of snuck in and stole the win, but I was expected for him to get the championship too, so the elite can all have gold. Next up, we had the title for title with the TBS Championship and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship being on the line with Mercedes Moné and Stephanie Vaquer going against each other. And ladies and gentlemen, women's wrestling, absolutely fantastic. This was so good. If you did not know who Stephanie Vaquer was, if you did not get a glimpse of what she can do from Collision and you saw this match, yeah, you are probably a fan. I mean, Mercedes Moné got some boos because she's from Boston. I don't think it had anything to do with her being disliked. She's very much well liked, but she's from Boston. They were in New York, and I think Stephanie was also getting people on her side. But this was really good. This was solid. I don't think the winner was ever in doubt. Mercedes Moné won, making Stephanie tap out, the representing her with the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. This was just good. She was just emotional. And then we got the return of Shit Baker DMD. I don't really care. she was not missed. That's just me. Y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of Britt Baker, but we'll see what happens this Wednesday on Dynamite with her. And then it was announced that on January 4th and 5th, AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, CMLL, and Stardom are coming together for Wrestle Dynasty at the Tokyo Dome. Wrestle Kingdom taking place on the 4th, Wrestle Dynasty taking place on the 5th. This is awesome. Love it when companies work together. Then we had our next match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship with Jon Moxley defending against Tetsuya Naito, and this was a decent enough hard-hitting match. Something didn't click with these two guys. I don't know what it was. Even Mox's body language was off, but like it took a while for the build to get going for this match because Naito didn't show up until the go home show, and the crowd wasn't ultimately vested. I would have swapped this match and the Mercedes Moné match. And Mox can play a heel. He played a heel. Fans love Naito. Naito wins. He hit the Destino for the win and regains the championship. Just something felt off about this match. It wasn't bad in the least, but I think these two could have put on a much, much better match. And ladies and gentlemen, our match of the night: Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay, AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And ladies and gentlemen, absolutely fantastic. This was so good. I could see them fight all day, just all the time. They had counters for each other, and Ospreay brought some new aggression because Swerve had to bring it out of him, and Swerve was his cool self, his swag self, and it just worked. There was a great sequence where they were going for strikes and just like flipping and countering out of it. And then Ospreay hit a Styles Clash. Swerve kicks out. Ospreay goes for the Os Cutter, and Swerve countered that into a double foot stomp, into the Swerve Stomp. Like, Swerve is unreal. He hit a Swerve Stomp from the top rope to Ospreay, who was on the table. Like, this was good, but the tide really changed when there was a ref bump. So MJF was watching on the monitor. Danny Garcia was watching in the seats. So Ospreay hit a Stormbreaker for a 2 count, right? And the fans are loving it at this point. He's got the double underhook, and he looked like he's going to go for the Tiger Driver. Swerve broke free, and the Swerve caught a headbutt from Ospreay. And then Ospreay wanted to go for the Tiger Driver again, but Swerve countered for the 2 count, right? So Swerve, out of nowhere, hit a hidden blade, and then went for the foot stomp, which Ospreay avoided. Leaped at Swerve, but Swerve moved, and Ospreay knocked the ref down. The ref got hit with a hidden blade. So fans booing because like, oh man, ref bump. Here comes Don Callis with the screwdriver, telling Ospreay, in this. Man, Ospreay's like, nah. Callis is like, do this. Prince Nana came over and pushed Callis out of the way. Ospreay took the screwdriver, was going to hit Nana. I'm like, nah, that ain't right. Nana begs him off, and Ospreay backs away and drops the screwdriver, realizing he was just losing himself. Swerve then hit the craziest of house calls, hit a Swerve Stomp. A second ref made the count. Ospreay kicks out. Swerve snapped Ospreay's arm, hit another house call. Swerve kicks out. And Jim Ross is like, yo, these dudes are going to fight until Monday. And after that, right, Ospreay was done. He went for a hidden blade, but he was just tired, exhausted. Swerve blocked it, patted Ospreay on the back, and dropped him with another house call, and then hit the JML driver, which is now called the Big Pressure. 1, 2, 3. Swerve retains. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a main event. Swerve showed Ospreay some love after the match. And some people won't like the ref bump, but I think it kind of had to happen just to get there, to take a little bit of heat off of Ospreay for losing. But this was really, really, really good. And Swerve gets that win that solidifies his championship reign. But that is what just happened. Forbidden Door. My 3 favorite matches: the women's tag match on the pre-show, the Mercedes Moné Stephanie Vaquer match, and the AEW World Championship match. Those are my 3 favorite matches of the evening. But let me know what you guys think. Come back this week for the High Res Wrestling Podcast and a couple other shows we've got lined up for you. But I will see you when I see you. Peace.